I'm Sophie, and my favorite movie is Miraculous World New York United Heroes from Miraculous Ladybug.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Nyland, and my favorite movie is Wonder.
Hi, my name is Peyton, and my favorite movie is The Impossible.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my podcast where I ask questions about, I answer questions about, and generally vibe about movies.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So, if you remember in the last episode, I did one of those great studios episodes that I think I want to do every 3 episodes. So we're back to those normal big questions about movies. And today I thought I'd do what makes a great movie adaptation of a book. Alright, so many popular, best-selling, or just interesting books have been altered in many ways and made into full feature films because of their popularity. And this concept has been around for a long time. There's a lot of variations to it. There can be whole series or franchises. So there can be some controversies with all this because some people will always prefer the book, and some people might like the new version that the movie presents. So yeah, it's a pretty controversial topic, but one that I think is really cool. So there are a few variations to this. A book can be turned into a movie that creates a bunch of new movies. One book can create a series of movies, and a full book series, a series of books, can also create one movie or maybe an unfinished movie series. Maybe, things like Percy Jackson, there was only 2 movies made, even though it's a big series of books. Yeah. A movie can have a lesser known, or not released in the theaters, movie. Yeah, like some books don't really get that big of a movie, and, that's okay. And books can also be made into plays or TV shows, as we see in life. So, yeah. Alright, so this is a podcast about movies, but I'm going to take a sec to talk about books, because books are exactly everything I've ever praised about movies, just in a written form that uses literature. It's pretty different, but it's a lot the same. Books can still be as exciting, emotional, or scary as movies. As I mentioned in episode 1, your imagination can really help you to create something that has a bigger meaning than anything you could see on screen, and that works for books. Usually people, like I said, like the book versions of movies better, but movies can easily overshadow book versions. I mean, a lot of people probably don't know that movies like Jaws or Jurassic Park started as books, which is really interesting. Alright, so now let's actually get into what makes a movie version of a book great. So, great movies can take stories or books that we know and just full on build off of them and make something new and exciting. World building is something that is easy to add to a story and that really makes it better. And now that these books that we know are now visual on the movie screen, world building is a visual thing that is really cool and something that a lot of people want to see due to their love of the book, and they want to see what they've imagined put into a movie. So, yeah. Also, adding a plot point or story element that wasn't there before can also help it. Adding so much more to character stories can really change them to make them great. Really building off of characters, that's a cool idea. Yeah, there's just a lot of things that you can do to really build off of the book and make it a great movie. So another thing that makes movie versions of books great is change. So, well known or traditional or popular books or stories that everyone knows can be easily just thrown out the window and changed from what we know, and it creates something new, and it's very creative and it's cool. It's kind of like what Scream did. Maleficent and Shrek are great examples of this. Shrek, takes fairy tales and just makes it like funny. Maleficent just flips the story. Maleficent is the one to break Aurora free from the spell because it's her true love that she's built over time that frees her, unlike the prince that we saw in the animated one. I'm talking about the live action one, by the way. So, yeah, that's a great example. And not only does this method help for creating an amazing movie, it's also very creative and very original. So, that's cool. Alright, so a very popular book and movie series is Harry Potter. This is probably the biggest example of books made into movies. So it's one of those ones where it's a full book series and it creates a full movie series. The series is just given new life with the movies. It can bring in music now, action that we can physically see, and for a lot of people, including me, the movies of Harry Potter brought them into the series, which is really important and really cool. The books are pretty different. I have read all of the books and watched all the movies, so I know both sides. It's always going to be a challenge, though. These up to 800-page books have to be cut down into a 2-hour movie. You have to, cut out a lot of stuff, and just kind of shorten a lot of stuff, and that's okay. I mean, what else would you do? A lot of people don't really like that, but it's kind of inevitable. So, yeah. Also, there's 7 books and 8 movies. They split the last one, Deathly Hallows, into 2 movies, maybe because they just wanted to show more. And yes, with 2 movies, 4 hours, they can show more, but I really don't think splitting it into 2 movies works because books are written to be one full connected story with everything aligning. And the Harry Potter books follow that hero's journey kind of way of writing, and when you just split that in half, it doesn't work out. Nothing matches up anymore. It's just it makes everything end up as a weird experience, and I really don't like how they're 2 movies. I find the first part of the Deathly Hallows movie kind of boring. It needs to be one complete movie, in my opinion. So, yeah. So, for other stuff, yes, this is a really cool concept for movies, taking something that we know it's written out and just bringing it to a new form and life. It's really cool, and I hope to see a lot of my favorite books also made into movies soon. All of this, everything I've talked about, is centered around creativity and personal life. Things relate to people in different ways. Things are creative to different people in different ways. Creativity is needed a lot for these. Also, certain directors or producers of a movie might want certain things that change, and that's up to them. That's something we can't control, and that goes for any movie. So, I really am a fan of a lot of movies made from stories and books, and I do want to see more, and I'm sure you do as well. So, I think that's it. Thank you for listening.